Everybody, this is Pastor Paul. I wanted to get you up to speed on what we were doing for Open House Month and our planning for that. Wanted you to see that the theme for Open House Month is going to be, here's your ticket to Oasis Living. Open House Month at WinsteadUMC is a ticket to a better life. What we asked were, what is the question or the need that's out there that Open House at Winstead will answer? Why are we doing Open House Month? So the question that we came back to is that these are troubled times where violence, division, our economy, our families, and our society are all frayed. We are a people in a dry land looking for relief. Some people don't even realize they're looking for relief, but we're in the middle of a time where people are really looking for some answers and looking for something more in life. Well, we think that we want to spend Open House Month talking about that we have an answer to that dryness. We have an answer in Winstead, in the church, and we want to celebrate that. The answer, of course, is a life-giving relationship with Jesus Christ. It's not just church life. It's a life-giving relationship with Jesus Christ. A relationship that transforms and renews our souls, impacts relationships, changes our priorities, and it binds us all together, sending us out to invite others into this relationship and to care for those that God places before us. And you also see there that we have some scriptures that we're going to be looking at throughout the month. And these are just scriptures that are talking about Oasis living, and we'll be building upon those. Psalms 42, 1 and 2, Psalm 143, 6, Psalm 63, 1 through 5, Matthew 5, 6, and John 4:14. I'll let you look those up. We thought that in the midst of answering that question about Oasis Living, that it really does go back to, and it comes out of our commitment to know God and to make God known. That we're strengthening children and families so that all will know God better. We thought that Open House Month is a time to offer an arms wide open invitation into a relationship with God, with each other, and to the community. We think that the key to having an effective Open House Month is having opportunities for relationship building between someone and God, someone in the church, and then someone in their mission and their ministry to the world that's around them. We need to be in relationship together. And we think that if we're offering an invitation to church, that it will only be effective if we can then take people into a deeper relationship. If we're just getting them in the door, if that's just our goal, that goal is not big enough. That we need to be in relationship with God and with each other and with the community. Fellowship, invitation, and outreach. We're going to start then with the worship themes of Open House Month, and then I'm going to look at how each group can be a part of this. The worship themes for Open House Month are going to be God is the answer to the questions that we have, even the ones we didn't know how to ask. Of course, that's prevenient grace, and we all know that. Number 2, Jesus is the living water. Nothing else will satisfy. Nothing else will do. Justifying grace, that we need to receive the gift that Christ is offering. This changes everything. Now what? And so what? Sanctifying grace. And then the ripples will widen as the impact of that in each of our lives. It changes our families, our community, our world, because we're in this together. We think looking at these themes while we're talking about inviting people into relationship is going to be the key to having a good solid foundation upon which we build the rest of our schedule for Open House Month. So in just a second, I'm going to show you what the schedule for Open House Month is going to look like and what you can do to be a part of it. The planning calendar is why we need to meet soon for all our different committees. Each team and committee needs to be meeting now to making sure that they're adding their events and planning and preparing their events for Open House Month. As no later than August 13th can you have in all the material that you have to advertise Open House at Winstead. So if there's anything that you want to schedule for September, we need to have that on the calendar and ready to publicize by August 13th, because we're going to be putting out a newsletter that advertises Open House Month in August, getting ready for Open House Month in the church. Then each team or committee needs to continue to meet in August as you need to prepare. By August 23rd, we want to have all the material that's going to be printed and handed out during Open House Month ready to be printed. If your committee is working on something and you're going to be inviting people to it, then we need to have that material in so that we can be handing that out soon after the 23rd. Because here's the events. The schedule of events is going to be that Wednesday nights will launch on August 26th. We're not going to wait until the 1st of September because of Labor Day. So we're going to have August 26th for Wednesday nights. Now that's going to be something really fun. Winstead's Got Talent. It's not going to be our regular Wednesday night material. It's going to be something very fresh for that night. And then August 30th, we're going to have an M&M Festival, Mission and Ministry Festival. This is going to be really neat, and it's going to be a key thing. It's going to be outside here at the church. It's going to be inviting. It's going to be a chance to be celebrating all the ministries and the missions and ministries that are going on throughout the church. We're hoping that each group in the church has a tent that they'll put up, that they'll do a game, something fun that would be inviting and engaging for the community to do. And then along with that is material on what they're doing, ready to have that to hand out to any visitors that we'll have that day. There's a lot of planning that's going to go on for that festival. That's just a rough outline about that festival, but that's going to be really important, that August 30th festival. Then throughout the month of September, each group is going to launch. They're going to have, the youth, the music. We're going to have missions things going on. Sunday school is going to, be doing their thing. Everybody's going to be launching into their fall activities. Worship, like we just talked about, worship is going to be moving forward with invitation and an evangelistic theme. And then we'll finish open house time with that church-wide picnic. It's our Sunday school picnic. We want to make sure that we do that really big this year as far as church-wide, everyone getting engaged. Now, the keys to success then with all of this is going to be building relationships. It's inviting people not just to church, just like we just mentioned a moment ago. It's inviting them to relationships. So we've got a lot of different ways that these groups need to all work together for that to happen. Here's just a rough draft of the stuff that needs to happen between now and the end of the middle of August, really. With the worship team, we're going to be working on welcoming training, name tags, entrance and exit greetings, invitation training for the whole church, and we're going to be strengthening the worship flow. There's a lot of stuff going to be going on, getting ready with worship. With the fellowship team, every participant in the church needs to be connected. This is going to be something we're going to have some really strong focus on fellowship. You can't be in relationship if we're not fellowshipping together. So we're going to talk about visitor follow-up, and we're going to be talking about connecting the families that we're engaging anywhere in the life of the church, our scout families, our GED families, if we can reach out to them. Anybody that comes into the life of the church, how can we engage them? But right now, one of the things that's key to that is that right now, not every participant is connecting with everyone else. And so not just with everyone else, but we want them to be connected with a small group, especially somehow to have connections with each other. There are just too many in our church that are coming, and even when they're coming in worship, they're coming and they're leaving and they're not connecting with the rest of the church. And so we're going to work on how we can do that, especially with our visitors and some of our new folks. The outreach missions team, of course, that's also hand in hand, and hand in hand will be starting up. But we also want to be talking about, I know that there's a red wagon pull that's scheduled. We might want to add a couple of 20-minute missions opportunities, which that's a chance for people right after church to be engaged in something that's hands-on, easy for everybody to be a part of, and takes just 20 minutes right after church for them to dig into for a little bit. Maybe one or two of those opportunities in September, and then scheduling those throughout the fall. It's an invitation to plug in for anyone that even in the community that might want to try to get involved in some of the missions that we're doing. And then we also want to talk about in inviting people in targeted neighborhoods effectively. And this is, our invitation for Open House Month. For instance, the question might be for communities that the red wagon pull might not be the best invitation. what's the red wagon pull for some of those other neighborhoods? Maybe the neighborhood that's across the street from us, maybe the neighborhood that's near our new church property, or maybe some other neighborhoods that we think that we can really target effectively. How can we engage them either in mission or in invitation so that they would also want to come and be a part of the church? Discipleship team, Sunday school, and small groups are going to be key to the success for building relationships. It's one thing to have someone in worship. It's so much more important to have them somehow connected in small group ministries. And so we're going to be talking about that. We want to strengthen, change, rearrange, engage, talk with the folks that might not be here already to see if there's other ways that we can be pulling them together. Really dreaming together about how we can strengthen what is a strong part of the church and a part that needs to be even stronger. That may be the key to the success, along with every one of these areas is a key to our success. The trustees, we need to be doing a church-wide cleanup. We need to be doing a building spruce up, both for Open House Month and, as you can see, for the building committee. We want to be able to put up a for sale sign real soon in front of the church, and then have our financial plan that's going to be ready so that we can move seamlessly from Open House Month in September to our stewardship campaign in October. The other thing is that as we're inviting people into the church, they need to understand that we're a church that's quite literally on the move. I mean, we have plans to grow and plans to impact even more and more families and even more people in relationship with Jesus Christ. So that's just a start with where we are with this. I appreciate your time and taking a look at this. I can't wait to talk to you more about how we're going to do all this together. So I'm sure this just starts your questions, but I know this, that as we pray together and as we work together, God will be glorified as we lift him up in front of our community. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon.